Welcome everyone, we're diving into another round of great deals that you can snatch up for your Nintendo Switch. Every game is at an all-time low, so you won't have to worry about overspending if you do decide to pick any of them up. Thanks as always for hanging out and allowing me to share them with you all. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like down below and subscribe if you're new here. And with that said, we'll dive in. Alright, we'll start with 9 Years of Shadows, which is a 2D Metroidvania with a download around 2.5 gigs. It offers us about 8 hours of gameplay and features one of the better soundtracks of any indie game here on the console. It runs well here on the Switch and the combat is enjoyable. You have the ability to control different elements and switch between different armor sets in order to gain an advantage over your opponents. Right now you can pick it up for just $13.99, marked down to an all-time low. The deal ends on the 1st of May. Aeterna Noctis is a 2D action platformer that gives us more than 30 hours of gameplay. The download is just under 2.5 gigs, and it features a gorgeous art style with an all-original soundtrack, and the cutscenes are fully voice acted. Now this of course helps to bring you into the incredible story. We play as the King of Darkness, and we spend our time working through the game trying to reclaim our lost abilities, which you'll need to fight for the throne of Aeterna. Right now you can pick it up for just $11.99, marked down to an all-time low, and the deal ends on the 6th. Bravery and Greed is another 2D action platformer that offers local and online multiplayer for up to 4 people at a time. It has a download around 850 megabytes and offers dozens of hours of gameplay. And of course there is a good bit of replay value with this one as well. It features a complex combat system with skill trees to add a bit of variety to how you approach the game, and you can earn permanent upgrades to alter how the game plays out as well. It's a blast with friends, and right now it's on sale for just $7.99, bringing it down to an all-time low, with the deal ending on the 1st of the month. Dead Cells is one of the better games in the genre, and the devs have continued to add new content to the game since it launched several years ago. It's a 2D Metroidvania style roguelike that offers more than 30 hours of gameplay, and while it can be quite challenging, it's well worth a playthrough if you haven't had the chance to jump in yet. They've also added in some difficulty options or modifiers to make the game a bit easier on you. Now the combat is incredible and the music is top tier. It's absolutely a must buy for those that are still on the fence. Right now you can pick it up for just $12.49, matching an all-time low. The deal ends on the 21st and the download is just under 2.5 gigs. Dreamscaper is another tough-as-nails single-player roguelike here on the Switch. It offers more than a dozen hours of gameplay and comes in with a download around 5 gigs. Now this one offers a unique day and night cycle that alters the gameplay mechanics drastically and features a wildly vast acrobatic combat system. It gives us a deep story that sticks with you for a while, and while it is a tough game, once you get the hang of it, it's very rewarding as well. If you're interested in Dreamscaper, be sure to grab it up before the deal ends on the 1st. Right now it's just $6.24, on sale at an all-time low. Up next we have DREDGE, which is an interesting game. It's basically a story-driven fishing game where we move from one area to another, collecting better gear in order to catch better fish, and then of course sell them for more money. It has a unique horror feel to it, and the soundtrack adds so much to the overall experience, and while the gameplay loop can become a little repetitive by the end, it's definitely a hidden gem in my opinion. The low poly art style works great here on the console, and if you're looking for a unique game to break up the monotony of remakes and overused tropes, it would be a great pickup this week as it's currently on sale at an all-time low, marked down to $17.49 with the deal ending on the 21st. The download is just over 1 gig. The Figment bundle contains both games in this wonderful series. The download comes in a little over 3 gigs, and you can expect about 10 hours of combined gameplay. Now these are isometric adventure games with unique stories and fun gameplay. The combat is pretty simplistic, but the worlds they give us are very creative and fun to explore. And on top of that, the music is outstanding. Now they are a little darker in tone, but for any fan of the genre, these are definitely worth a playthrough. The bundle is on sale for just $9.99, marked down to a brand new low, and the deal ends on the 6th. Kao the Kangaroo is a 3D platformer with a download that comes in a little over 3.5 gigs, and it was made as a love letter to the 64-bit era of action platformers. It has that colorful art style with simplistic combat and cool environmental puzzles that'll stand in your way while you work through the different levels. You have collectibles scattered everywhere, and a lot of them are tied to unlocking new areas, just like you would find in those older games. Now, it isn't perfect by any means, but if you enjoy the genre, it's definitely worth checking out, and right now you can pick it up for just $10.49, marked down to an all-time low until the 27th. You can expect about 10 hours of gameplay. Killer Frequency is a pretty cool narrative-driven game where we play as a radio host for a small-town station, and you basically have to solve a murder mystery by helping the people that call in. Of course, you still have to host your radio show and play music while you roam around and search for clues to then feed back to the callers. It has a really compelling story and runs well here on the Switch. The only downside are the controls, which can be a bit tough. You can tell it was designed with keyboard and mouse in mind, or for VR, but if the Switch is your only way to play, or if you want to take the game on the go, this is still a fun way to play. Right now it's on sale for just $12.49, marked down to half price. The download is just over 2 gigs, and you can expect about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay from the pickup. The deal ends on the 1st of the month. Lamentum is a top-down survival horror game with a download around 2 gigs. It gives us about 6 to 8 hours of gameplay, and the story follows a young man as he desperately searches for a cure to a deadly disease that's slowly killing his wife. It was inspired by classics like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. It takes place inside of an old mansion in New England, and of course you'll have to survive and solve puzzles in order to progress through the story. Right now it's on sale at an all-time low, marked down to just $6.39, with the deal ending on the 22nd. The Legend of Tianding is a single-player side-scrolling beat-em-up with a roughly 10-hour story, and it has a download around 2.5 gigs. The game follows a Taiwanese folk hero and features a fun combat system, gorgeous art and animations, with locations based on real-world places, and a fun card-based minigame within the main game. They've also included a boss rush mode for more replay value, and right now you can pick it up at an all-time low, marked down to just $7.99. The deal ends again on the 22nd. Ravva in the Phantom Library is a retro-style 2D puzzle platformer and the second game in the series. This one again has that retro look and sound to it, and you're given the option of tackling each book or level in whatever order you'd prefer. And they do encourage you to play through the levels multiple times in order to find all the collectibles and different secrets. You get a total of 7 different stages, each complete with a unique boss fight at the end, and they've also included 3 difficulty levels, so anyone can pick up the game and have a good time. Right now it's on sale, marked down to an all-time low at just $5.99. The deal ends on the 26th, and the download comes in at about 100 megabytes. Skul the Hero Slayer is a single-player 2D roguelike that sort of encourages you to take risks and die in order to see what they'll throw at you next. It has a download around 3.3 gigs and offers dozens of hours of chaotic gameplay. Now they do give you the option of playing as one of more than 100 different characters, each with unique skills and abilities, and then they just throw you into the action. It's a great game, and again I would highly recommend checking it out. Right now it's just $9.99, marked down to an all-time low, and the deal ends on the 23rd. Loretta is a dark adventure title and a new release for us here on the Switch. We follow a woman that's seemingly been let down or betrayed by everyone that she's ever trusted, and what's really cool is that the decisions that you make while you play through will determine how dark it gets and can alter the ending as well. One thing I do want to mention is that if you tend to play in handheld or tabletop mode predominantly, you might find the text to be a little rough on the eyes. It's definitely best played on a bigger screen. I know it seems like a minor thing at first until you play the game with that ultra tiny text, and it quickly becomes apparent that it actually is a bigger deal than you thought. With that said though, if you are interested in checking out Loretta, it's on sale for just $11.99. The deal ends tomorrow, and the download is just under 800 megabytes. Alright everyone, here are a few other great deals to check out while you're already on the eShop.
They don't know the magic you carry, the warmth you can brew. Bosses, customers, cafes.
Send dice!
Booyakasha!
It's go time.
We got pizza!
Rumble time! Let's make some stuff explode!
Embark on a new kind of adventure.
Alright everyone, that wraps up today's video. Thanks as always for hanging out. Take care everyone.
Super Retro Force.